Hello and welcome to Quest Recapped. Today, we will be going through the 2017 animated family drama film, Son of Bigfoot. As the movie begins, we meet Dr. Harrison, who's being pursued by an unidentified group and their hounds. After a brief chase, Harrison finds himself surrounded. Yet, in a bid to escape, he makes a daring leap off a cliff into a river. 12 years down the line, we encounter the CEO of a successful hair company, Dr. Erwin Armstrong. He passionately shares his ambitious goal of developing hair products to an audience of potential investors. Behind the scenes, hundreds of animals are unfortunately caged for lab testing, with dangerous experiments even performed on college interns. Meanwhile, we find Dr. Harrison's son, Adam, a shy, introverted teenager who's often the target of bullies. However, wanting to protect his mother from worry, he keeps the bullying incidents and the indifference of his school principal to himself. Intriguingly, every time Adam experiences intense emotion, his feet enlarge, and his senses seem to heighten. Persisting in their nuisance, the bullies end up leading Adam to a surprising discovery. As he's clearing up the shards of glass from a window they broke, he finds a box full of letters from his dad, written just 2 weeks ago. Adam, who was told his dad was dead, confronts his mom as soon as she gets home. However, Shelley, Adam's mom, refuses to give him any information, and the two get into a fierce fight. Clearly hurt by this, a determined Adam sneaks out in the middle of the night in a conquest to find his dad. He faces heavy rain but successfully manipulates a truck driver into letting him hitchhike 100 miles. And by the time Shelley notices he is gone, Adam has already reached his destination at 216th Street. Adam curiously wanders about the woods, calling to anyone who answers. And after a couple of weeks of searching the mystical forest, he finally steps up to a rocky mountain and gawks. But just then, his peace is disturbed by a strange rustling in the bushes. Scared by this, Adam runs for his life and steps into a trap, rendering him unconscious and falling. Now, his unconscious body tumbles and hits the highway, where a careless truck driver is driving. But Adam is rescued by a Bigfoot, which is captured in footage of the truck driver. He immediately calls the emergency services, but is laughed at before being redirected to the National Enquirer. And eventually, this information reaches the hair company. In the main control room, we see the head scientist, Dr. Billingsley, and Armstrong, discussing the recent rumors of a mysterious creature known as Bigfoot. However, the CEO is skeptical, as he believes it is merely a hoax and the search for such creatures ended more than a decade prior. However, Billingsley convinces Armstrong by showing him the captured photo of the immobile Adam. And after observing the striking resemblance shared with his father, Armstrong contacts the truck driver who witnessed Bigfoot. And naturally, the driver gives them all the information he has. Meanwhile, the trackers find Adam's backpack, along with his full name and address. And on the other hand, the search party goes on to investigate the Harrison house. They break in the absence of Shelley and fish around the residence. While they retrieve the letters sent by James Harrison, Shelley is driving away furiously searching for her son. Back in the forest, Adam regains consciousness and his gaze focuses on the very Bigfoot he ran away from. Seeing this, the boy scrambles away in panic. The air of disbelief and fear thickens when the mysterious creature introduces himself as Adam's father. And after entering his crib, we see the Bigfoot's house filled with pictures of his family and Adam. After finally accepting the fact that his father is actually Bigfoot, Adam starts bombarding James with hateful accusations of being hideous and a monster. He is frustrated that he was lied to his whole life. James begins to explain how it was crucial for him to escape or else he would be turned into a lab rat. Meanwhile, Shelley arrives at the address, but unfortunately, she is stopped by Armstrong's men. Adam expresses his concerns about him turning into a Bigfoot. He tells his dad all the symptoms he has experienced and James assures him that it's not all bad. As memories of reaching the treehouse resurface in Adam's mind, he is bewildered by his father's remarkable healing abilities. Now, James wants to see Adam's skills and takes him on an adrenaline run through the jungle. And soon enough, Adam discovers his enhanced hearing and incredible speed, delighting in zooming through the forest. To his amazement, James reveals yet another power, the ability to communicate with animals. James teaches Adam this skill, and Adam proves to be a quick learner. Later, Adam is introduced to all the animals around the jungle, including Trapper and Weecha, a raccoon couple, Wilbur the bear, and Tina the squirrel. As they chat, Tina informs them about a couple of hunters are hanging out. Together, they cleverly switch the bullets with grass, and Wilbur plays his part by acting dead, successfully deceiving the hunters. And with a coordinated effort, they successfully drive the intruders away, leaving Adam impressed by their unity. Next, James whittles a ball from scratch to play baseball with his son while reminding him he cannot return. They then take a swim and race back to the treehouse through the geysers. James plays guitar for his son, and Adam continues to be dazzled by his dad. He begs his dad to come home, but James shares a heartfelt story that explains why it's not possible. James tells his son how he started studying his abnormal hair growth, which led him to discover a rare gene mutation that resembled the DNA of Neanderthals. He further reveals that when Hair Company, because aware of his experiments, they maliciously stole all his research after he rejected their offer to collaborate. But things got messy pretty fast, and after the company threatened his wife, James decided that escaping the city was the only way to save her. In the meantime, Shelley is escorted to a diner where Armstrong awaits her arrival. Seeing through his pretense of false concern for his son, she confronts him directly. Armstrong reluctantly confesses that his true motive is to exploit Adam in order to gain access to James. He then presents compelling evidence that has led him to believe that James is, in fact, a Bigfoot. Outside the diner, hungry raccoons scavenging through the trash witness the commotion and discover that Shelley is being held captive. Trapper quickly returns to inform James, who, despite his arguments, reluctantly allows his son to intervene. Now, Adam successfully distracts the pursuers and reconciles with his mother, sharing crucial information about James' whereabouts. Unbeknownst to them, their conversation is being covertly eavesdropped. Now, Armstrong's men are dispatched to the location, but they quickly realize that the information provided by the young boy is incorrect. Filled with anger, Armstrong forcefully separates Adam from his mother. Despite attempting to negotiate with Adam, Armstrong soon realizes the futility of his efforts. In a fit of rage, he orders his men to set the forest on fire and pushes the car with Adam inside of it. Adam, suffocating and desperate, screams for help. In a state of panic, James comes to his rescue, risking himself in the process. However, James is subsequently taken captive. Adam then turns to his animal companions for help, but they initially refuse, accusing him of being responsible for the forest's destruction. Despite their rejection, Adam persists and apologizes to them, and eventually, the animals agree to help him. Back in the lab at Hair Company, Billingsley is having the time of his life experimenting with Bigfoot. When Bigfoot refuses to cooperate, Armstrong threatens to harm Adam and Shelley. He also presents a proposition: if James willingly collaborates with the company, he promises to ensure the safety of his family. On the other hand, Adam works with his animal friends to formulate and execute an escape plan. They successfully hitch a ride on the vehicle of Armstrong's men, creating a lighthearted and amusing moment. As Billingsley works on tuning the genetic sequence and rejoices at their immediate victory, he is given a time crunch. Adam and his friends infiltrate the lab, inadvertently causing a disturbance while sneaking in. They must now confront and fend off the guards. Amidst the struggle, Adam locates his trapped father and races to save him, while his friends battle with Armstrong's men. Now, Adam faces a challenge as the guards stand between him and his father. Fortunately, Tina comes to his rescue, incapacitating one of the guards with a taser. Despite success on one end, Wilbur, Trapper, Weecha, and Tina are captured, whereas Adam rushes to his father, shocked by the distressing state in which he is held. Next, Adam tries to remove the wires from his father's body, but James appears to have given in. Despite Adam's attempts to reason with him, James tells him to go away and insists that he is fine. Just then, Armstrong enters the scene and dismisses Adam's accusations, asserting that he and James are partners and that James has chosen to stay voluntarily. With this, Adam, filled with genuine confusion, is forcibly taken away. Then, Armstrong manipulates the boy, attempting to convince him that it is advantageous to have his father away while promising wealth and riches. And on the other hand, Adam's trapped friends begin to believe that he has betrayed them. While being led through a hallway, Adam notices an emergency fire alarm button. Acting quickly, he pushes it, setting off a chain of events. Armstrong and his bodyguards become trapped inside the hall as sprinklers activate. Despite Armstrong's attempts to inform security about the false alarm, the confusion and chaos prevent his message from being understood, causing the alarm to escalate. Now, the halls fill with people evacuating, under the mistaken belief that there is a real fire, ignoring Armstrong's commands. Believing that they are rescuing him, the guards carry Armstrong away. In the meantime, Adam races back inside to free his friends and the other trapped animals. Next, he dashes towards his father, who still refuses to leave, concerned for the safety of their family. However, Adam remains stubborn and relentless. He boldly declares that he will reveal his own Bigfoot identity. Now, this shakes Dr. Harrison, who immediately opposes the idea. Adam insists that they either both stay or break free. Surprised by his son's determination and courage, James jerks all the cables away and prepares to escape alongside Adam. Back at the Harrison household, Shelley is growing impatient and worried as her son is not back yet. She threatens to call the cops on the guards, but they simply laugh at her weak and senseless story. Moments later, they go upstairs to use the bathroom, but make an unexpected discovery instead. They uncover the truth that Adam, too, is a Bigfoot. Overwhelmed by this, they promptly inform their boss about the revelation. Meanwhile, at the hair company, everyone, humans and animals, all the same, are running out of the building to save themselves. James wants to shut the place down for good and the duo smash every chemical in the lab. But, what they don't realize is, they unintentionally trap themselves inside. Soon enough, Adam discovers an escape route through an air vent. They traverse the vent, overcoming obstacles along the way. Eventually, they reach a dead end at the top of the building. And with no other choice, they grab a couple of wires and use them as a makeshift zip line to descend from the building. However, Armstrong and his men lie in wait for Adam and James, swiftly surrounding them. To their dismay, a passing car reveals that the guards have also captured Shelley. James asserts his decision to go home, but Armstrong interrupts by firing a tranquilizer dart at him. Mockingly, Armstrong reveals that Adam, being a Bigfoot himself, will be more than sufficient for their purposes. James attempts to attack Armstrong but is forcefully pushed into a void. As Armstrong tries to capture Adam, a surge of determination fills him. Adam quickly fires a gun into the chemical-induced lab, causing a powerful explosion that engulfs the entire building. Now, the guards flee the scene, leaving Armstrong to fend for himself. Amidst the wreckage, Adam finds his father lying unconscious on the ground. Overwhelmed by this, he rushes to his side and begins to sob. But he notices something at that moment, a blue light emanating from his hands. It dawns on Adam that he has activated a new skill, reminiscent of his father's healing touch. But still, Adam's desperate attempts to revive James prove futile, and he breaks down in tears. Just then, James slowly opens his eyes, and the animals cheer as the father and son embrace. However, Armstrong, filled with bitterness, aims his gun at Bigfoot one last time. But before he can shoot, Shelley takes decisive action, firing a shot at him. And with Armstrong finally dead, the family reunites and promises to no longer hide ever again, as the lab lies in ruins in the background. The scene shifts as Adam wakes up to the sound of a woodpecker. We see the animals helping around the house, and they find out that Armstrong has been jailed. With a sense of relief, the family finally experiences happiness and normalcy. Meanwhile, when the bullies try to pick on Adam once more, he stands up for himself with the help of his animal friends. Empowered by his newfound strength, Adam musters the courage to ask his crush to walk to school with him. The movie ends with Adam narrating his story, reflecting on his journey, and being grateful for the friendships he has forged. we have come to the end of this video. Thank you for watching. Kindly like, subscribe, and share this video. If you also have thoughts you intend to share, kindly leave them in the comment section. See you in the next video.